The Stranger by Alison Maruska. I found another box back here. Coughing, I shoved the dust-coated cardboard across the cement floor of the crawl space and out to my brother. This has to have something. He pulls it into the family room as I brush my grimy hands on my jeans, trying not to cringe at my beat-up manicure. Why? Aaron pulls the crackling tape, a simple task given the adhesive's age. 14th time's the charm? He shoots me a satisfied smirk. Ha ha, let's just get to it. We're down to... I check my watch. Half an hour before Dad has to have whatever pics we can find. 30 minutes to go through 60 years of memories? No problem. Aaron lifts a shoebox from the larger cardboard one. Here. I grab and open it while Aaron shuffles through whatever loose things are in the box. Surrounding us, Grandma's things lay strewn across the floor, and like layers of ancient rock, they show more age as we dig farther into the crawlspace. On the far end of the room rest the newest finds, including programs from our graduations, birthday cards from the past few years, even Christmas gift tags. The next layer included framed pictures of us as children, starting around the time Mom took off, and after that came the bracelets from our birth and the program from Dad's college drama production. So many items showed a life I had no clue about, despite the fact that she had a large part in raising us. The weight that insisted on sitting on my chest the past 4 days returned, so I do what I've done almost nonstop since then. Keep busy. This is full of canisters of undeveloped film. I take one out and shake it. Think anyone still develops this stuff? Doubt it. He removes a stack of papers and pictures and flips through them. Hey, these might work. He holds them out to me. I take the faded, yellowing photographs, images of a young family, our father and his parents, on a beach. A 20-something version of Grandma wearing a bikini and huge sunglasses is sitting on a towel, her legs stretched before her as our preschool-aged father buries her feet with sand. Behind her are other families, all looking like they're in a show about summer in the 60s. I set the picture aside and flip through the others. Grandma isn't in many of these, huh? I noticed. Aaron flips through his own stack of square photographs. I guess moms are usually the one taking pictures. Oh, here we go. He hands me another shot, this one featuring young Grandma standing beside a Thanksgiving table. Behind her, pressed against the wall, is a man I don't recognize. He isn't smiling. Squinting, I hold the picture close to my eyes, looking for anything familiar. Failing that, I set the photograph with the beach one. By the time the alarm on my phone goes off, Aaron and I have a stack of 5 photographs featuring Grandma as a young mom. I grab them and jump to my feet. Come on, we'll drop these off with Dad and clean up after. As Aaron drives us to the funeral home, I analyze the pictures, wishing I could reach into them and pull Grandma back to us. I remember tracing an old scar on the side of her hand, the one she got cutting vegetables years before with my finger when I was a kid. These prints are rare treasures, capturing something I haven't seen in the more recent digital shots. Did you notice Grandma is never alone in these? What do you mean? Aaron pulls into the funeral home's lot and parks in the space closest to the street. Exactly what I said, look! I hold the pictures up, slowly flipping through them. There's a guy in all of them. In the Halloween picture, where Grandma sits with our pirate-costumed dad in what looks like a church basement, I point to a brown-haired man dressed in tan slacks and a shiny, green button-down shirt. I flip to the Thanksgiving pic and point out the same man. In all of the pictures, he wears the same clothes and stares straight ahead, unsmiling. Huh. Aaron takes the stack from me and flips through them. Maybe Dad knows who he is. He must have been a close friend if he was around on Thanksgiving. Come on, we need to get in there. The next day's service comes too soon, though I suspect any time would feel too soon to me. I check my lipstick one last time in the bathroom mirror before heading into the crowded hallway. While I'd love to say goodbye to Grandma in comfortable solitude, I can't wait out these people forever. The first eyes to connect with mine belong to someone I haven't seen in decades. Of course, those eyes are much older than I remember. Uncle Frank? My great-uncle offers a half-toothless smile. "Maria, my goodness!" He approaches me with an uneven gait, though I'm not sure if it's caused by his aging joints or by the huge, archaic camera around his neck. He takes my hands in his, smiling and nodding. Moisture sits at the bottom of his eyes, as if he'd been mourning his sister just before I joined him. "You're all grown up." "Yeah." I smile gently, patting the back of his hand. "Did you see the display Dad set up?" "As I haven't seen the display myself, I hope doing so with company will be easier." He shakes his head. "Let's go then. It's in here." I pull him toward the sanctuary. "One second, dear." Releasing my hand, he steps back and raises the camera. "I'd like to get your picture, if that's all right." "Sure." I stand straight and smile half-heartedly, assuming this is a photograph no one will see. The old camera clicks, and Uncle Frank cranks a dial. "How old is that camera?" I ask as I reach for his hand again. "Oh, older than you, I think." He chuckles. "I never got into those newer fancy things. This one works just fine." I hold the door open for him, and together we make our way to the front of the mostly empty sanctuary. Lilies, Grandma's favorite, surround the urn centered on the front table, covering it and the floor around it. On the table farthest to the right are photographs, including the ones Aaron and I found yesterday, now framed and arranged chronologically alongside the newer pictures. I bend over, analyzing them again, looking for the stranger in each like I'm looking for Waldo. He only appears in the older photos. "Uncle Frank, do you know who this man is?" "What's that?" He shuffles over to me, lifting his glasses and putting his face inches from the pictures. "Oh, sure, I think I remember him. A neighbor of theirs, I think. I met him at barbecues once or twice." Putting his glasses back on, he stands straight again and moves to the front pew, expressing a long sigh as he settles into the seat. "Did you know his name?" I sit next to him. "Oh, no, you know how it is with people. They come and go. But he was around on Thanksgiving and Christmas." He shrugs and takes a hanky from his jacket pocket, wiping his nose. In the minutes that follow, family and old friends join us, pausing to appreciate the display. An older lady wearing a long, floral dress stops at the pictures, leaning close. "Well, I'll be damned," she says more loudly than I think she realizes. The man behind me stifles a laugh. She puts one hand on her chest and fans herself with the other, looking like she might fall over. I hurry to her side. "Excuse me, are you doing okay? Can I help you find a seat?" "Oh, no, dear." She takes my hand and smiles at me. "I was just surprised is all. We were so young in these pictures." She points at the beach picture, to a young woman behind my grandma, and next to the stranger. "That was me. Sylvia and I were the best of friends." Butterflies rush to my stomach. "Who was the man next to you?" "He was my husband. Only—" Narrowing her eyes, she leans toward the photograph again. "No, that can't be right." "What can't?" "Your father there. He was about 4, but my Jimmy was gone by then." She shakes her head. "Silly. I must be losing my old marbles." With another smile, she leaves my side, heading for the pews. I follow and sit next to her. "Can I ask what you mean? That he was gone?" "He disappeared when your dad was a baby. I remember it very clearly, because your grandmother had to console her crying baby at the same time she consoled me." She laughs a little as moisture pools in her eyes. "The police found him about a year later." I swallow past the lump in my throat. "Found him?" She nods slowly. "He'd been murdered, I'm afraid. Stabbed and tossed into a lake. They never found who was responsible." My face falls, regretting making her relive such old pain. "I'm so sorry. Would you like me to sit with you?" "That would be nice, dear. Thank you." As the service begins, my eyes go to the photographs again. The beach picture was the oldest. If her husband was already gone by then, or near then, if her memory wasn't quite accurate, how was he in all the later ones? A few weeks after the service, a knock at my door pulls me away from my book. Not expecting anyone, I peer through the peephole, then open the door. "Dad! What are you doing here?" "I have some things from the service I thought you might want. Uncle Frank sent it over." After a hug, he steps into my living room. "How have you been doing?" Without waiting for an answer, he hands me a large, yellow envelope. I open the clasp. What is this stuff? I don't know. I didn't look. I've been busy clearing out Grandma's house. Finished what you and Aaron started. Find anything interesting? He shrugs. Why don't you come out to the car and have a look? Maybe you'll want to keep something. I set the envelope on an end table and follow him out. 3 boxes sit neatly in the back of his SUV. This is all you've got? I ask. It's all that I thought you guys might want. The first 2 boxes hold a few vases, wine glasses, and framed pictures. The second has a tarnished silver punch bowl set. The last box has more random items, yellowed doilies, ceramic dolls, and something that didn't fit with any of the other things. A hunting knife. I pick it up, studying the heavy case. Why did Grandma have this? Beats me. Maybe your grandpa hunted before I could remember. I found it in the back of the bedroom closet. I almost missed it. Do you want to keep it? I pulled a knife from the case, eyeing the shiny blade. At the base, near the handle, is something I'm sure shouldn't be there. A small drop of blood. He'd been murdered, I'm afraid. Stabbed and tossed into the lake. I gasp at the sudden memory. This knife could be from anything. Grandma couldn't have been involved with her friend's murder. Could she? With shaking hands, I slide the blade back into the case and drop it to the box. No, my apartment has enough clutter. Are you okay? I nod, maybe a little too rapidly. Okay. He stares at me as he makes his way to the driver's door. Call me if you need anything. After he drives off, I go back inside and pick up the envelope. It holds a program from the funeral, some thank you cards, the guest book, and a photograph. Oh my God! I fall back against the wall, my eyes glued to the image and my heart pounding. The photograph is of me, the one Uncle Frank took in the hallway, and though I'm sure I was alone that day, according to this picture, I was not. Behind me is a man I only know from pictures, a man with brown hair wearing tan slacks and a shiny green shirt. Only this time, he is smiling.